Yo, good morning, stream. We are back with another video slash, you feel me, stream. It's the freaking, you feel me, it's a Friday. It's the 20th, last day. Um, so, it's always a good day. And with that, we're finna just, chart up the screen, get everything set up, get everything ready. So, so we're gonna just sit here, mark out everything we need to know, and we know we got sell side liquidity taken here. And then we had an internal low as well. Sell side taken just like that. And then we can mark this on a NQ. We know sell side has not been taken yet. But don't know it's got taken there either. So it has not. Actually, let's see. Oh yeah, it has. So boom, we had this internal low taken as well. So it has been taken, right? We know, bam, if we just do this, we know we have an SMT at these lows. And as well as over here, we have an SMT. And we know this would be our sell side level. So with that, we just drop down in the time frames and we continue to gather a bias. So we're gonna jump down to the 1 hour and see, you know, what really happened. We got these lows taken, still failed, rejected off of this pretty big 1 hour imbalance down here. And that is what held price bullish and still has not, yet to take out this level. We'd have to get a full close. Like, look, all these candles through yesterday continued. We rejected, took out a high, bam, retraced back into it, and we're still rejecting. So with that, we jump to ES and we try to get, we try to gather that same initial, bias. We know where price always is because that dotted line right there. So to be real, we're rejecting off of gaps so far back that it's honestly nothing. We're a bit bullish in this point in time. Taking this weekly low. We've already took it on a NQ, so this does not matter. So we're gonna drop down to the time frames, and honestly, if we were to take a short position, we're gonna not really. We're not gonna trade it, and B, we're gonna trade it super cautiously. Like we'll take it maybe based upon what NQ does, because at that point, like I said, we only have this 4 hour low, and then from there on out, we don't really got much. But a rebalance, right? All this buy side up here, that in my opinion is a lot stronger and confident to at least rebalance price back up into the range and possibly take out a buy side form. So you know it all does just come with patience and waiting. So we continue to drop time frames. So we'll jump to the 30-minute. See what do we look like we're doing now, and still nothing has happened. We put a full leg down, inverse this gap that was holding, sent price up a little bit higher. Bam. We then sold off, put a change in the state, and then still rejected the 50% mark of this. Took internal low here, and we're looking to put that reversal in. So ES, same thing, holding this gap, boom, retested that jump, did not take out any highs. So now we have a lot more forms of buy side liquidity resting. We got equal highs or relative equal highs, like right there, and then we got this wide open 30-minute right above us, and that is super clean of a target. So same thing on NQ. And like, if we're gonna be honest, like, these are they're not crazy far targets. They're within reason of what we're trying to see. Got a high inside of a 1 hour, that even is where clean spot. So, what am I trying to see is like a reason to go back, higher. So as of now, nothing's really presenting itself to me. I don't really see much, but market open, I will be patient, wait for, something to give me that internal read to take price back, you know, higher or lower. So um it's 4 hour leg, bam, bam, EQ is perfectly resting. So that's where EQ rests of this entire move. So obviously, if we do not come back lower, and then we go here, we look for where EQ rests. So that's the 50% mark of this entire range. And, you know, perfectly. Okay, and it rests perfectly inside of a 4 hour. So we got highs resting inside of, 4 hour gap too. Like, super clean. Like we dig inside of this 4 hour, right? Maybe we don't respect, but equilibrium's inside of it as well. Boom. And then, let's say we just want to rebalance price right here and then possibly, play around. So I think, on the day, my bias would be a bit stronger to just be bullish, S&T bullish, internal low, taken, signs of bullish, 1 hour holding. And then, obviously I can't speak crazy for ES because we're not holding nothing, but this is the index that continues to take this internal low and, still fall lower, keep holding with that S&T. So with that, just gonna drop down. We got like 10 minutes to open. This is the kind of range I'm looking in right here. It's just this buy side EQ. These little internal levels here, super clean in my opinion. I like what this looks like for right now, and I will be looking to have that position on if I get a move, if I get something that opens up. So no 1 hour, right? So I can't really see this market reversing into a 1 hour. We're in a bearish 1 hour at the moment. So, maybe a 5 minute. We got 5 minute wide open down here with lows. And we got the same thing on ES 5 minute down there with resting lows. So we can kind of, play this off of internal manipulation. And then leave that down here as well. Internal manipulation, inside of a gap as well. And then look for some form of the model to play out. So OD patient. So equal lows right there too. Slow clean. 15-minute gap probably is down there. Yep, 15-minute gap perfectly right here. Yeah, I mean, other than that, we'll just be waiting. Internal lows at this, 15-minute gap is clean, possible manipulation, retrace back into this gap, hold the S&T as well, and then bam, one of these index maybe fail to tap inside of this range. So I could see a little sell-off at the open. Just can't really predict it all, So I got like the ideas that I'm like, but like to really take a short here. Excuse me. The only way I'll short is down to this, and like although it is clean, I'm not really looking for that. So again, if nothing presents itself, I'm saying it now. I'm just gonna hop off this shit. Like I'm just gonna walk away. save profits, wait for something more clean, more clear to actually open up and, provide, real data for myself. So other than that, I'm gonna let this play for about 5 minutes. About to go get something to eat, let the dog out, and then I'll be right back. So I'm gonna leave this screen up. Market open is in about 8 minutes. So yeah, I'll be back before then. Let's get it. All right, so we are back. Um, right now, market's opening in about literally 15 seconds. So we're gonna see for a little model. Looks like market's about to put a change in right at the open, right to the downside. We just filled this 15-minute, and we did not fill it up there. Putting in a bearish SMT. I would like to see us get lower here, so we don't fill this gap right there. I would like to see which index would like to take this form of sell side. But this is exactly what we want to see if we want to go higher. If we would like to go higher here, we need this market to put this, sell off at the open. So possibly hold this gap too. Now, if we don't hold this gap, and this SMT slash this gap holds, this pullback to a change is also right, then that's another, that's perfectly fine. But we already manipulated lower, so we're kind of in a point in time where just manipulated lower. ES fails. ES fails to take out that SMT or that buy side level. Not even buy side, it's just a gap. But obviously, buy side, orders are resting at that gap. So NQ is getting a really nice sell off down to these lows, which was super clean. SMTs put in all the reason to do that. So everything has its reason. We are now just waiting. So bam, that low is now taken. That 15-minute manipulation is now taken. Boom. We have an SMT if, the market starts to reverse here. So I like this. Super clean. I'm going to scale down to, time frames. Look for that, first change in the state if we want to get higher. So I want to see if ES wants to get lower here or get higher through this 15-second. Put a change in as well. So it's holding. If NQ wants to get higher, it will put in a change as well. We know we have a bullish SMT. We did not take that internal manipulation level down there. So we can wait here. We're going to wait for a change. That's all we're waiting for is a complete change. A reason to show signs like, all right, where this gap wants to hold, then yeah, we should probably continue to still seek lower a little bit more. But if not, then, we'll put a nice clean change. I want this change in the state to have displacement. So like I want gaps to open up in favor of that. And if not, look, we'll just continue to seek lower. So we're just waiting. Change is going to stay right there for now. So SMT. Until we come and tap this 15-minute, we have an SMT. So if we get a change before that, then it's valid. Again, the only short opportunity I would see was all the way up there towards the open, which is perfectly fine, but I'm not seeking that. I'm seeking this to hold, a manipulation leg, a reason to get lower. And again, if we don't hold this SMT, like now the change will be here. Tiny gap right there, and then a change. SMT as well, so we're just gonna wait patiently for this. Gonna wait super patient for this to set up. 30-second change up there. So now it looks like we're going to, tap inside of this gap. So we're gonna just leave that there. soon as we tap into the gap, no more SMT, and then bam, you know, can start seeking lower. But after that, like I said, I probably won't even trade it. Just want to see if my exact bias in the day coming into what I'm seeing is correct. So putting in a change validates that. Internal low gets taken. Looks like we had a nice little sell off. S&T to the upside. High time frame bullish, So we're just gonna wait patiently. Looks like we're going to get that fill on the 15-minute very, very shortly, but we did just take an internal low to the left of us. So that is, also pretty clear. Low gets taken now. And, we know we have that reason. We do have that full reason to get back up now. But we're just waiting, patient. And Q looking, to put that change in. Just waiting. So I do like this 30-second. It will confirm a bit more for me. So I'm going to move that change up here to this 30-second. That validates a lot more that, okay, this SMT does hold. So we're going to leave that there. And like I said, if nothing wants to play out in favor here, then totally cool walking, away from this setup. But this is an A+ setup, We have a reason to go higher. We look like we wanted to rebalance higher on the day. So just being so scaled in may not allow you to see that sometimes, but you jump to a 15-minute time frame, boom, we manipulate lower. We have so much reason to go back to these highs. It's clean. So now NQ is looking to put that 30-second change in, and then I want to see a continuation and a follow through. If we inverse this 1 minute, we'll most likely put that in. So nothing here is like holding us. And again, I wanted to see displacement, so I'm going to buy 5 here. Stop will go at this SMT. We're prematurely entering there. Only throwing on 5 right now because we're entering based upon we want to see this change, get put in. We fill this 1 minute and we have every right to go back lower, But if I'm still seeking this change to really get validated, then I will wait, obviously, to add. I'm not going to add right away. So I'm okay with that, that loss as of now. And if we do not want to get lower, so boom. It looks like we're most likely going to fill this 15-minute, and that's perfectly fine. So just going to wait here. I need, real confirmation now. It doesn't matter if the SMT isn't, in place. If it is or if it is not, it does not matter. All that matters is that, we fill this higher time frame, this higher time frame gap, and then we actually manipulate lower. So now we take this internal low. So now a new valid change is here, and that's all I'll base this off of. We already filled the 1 minute, so we got our, final rejection lower. So take that internal low to the left, boom, SMT, like everything is super clean. So we took that first little, stab. We saw legs down right away. Still wanted to manipulate. So we're just gonna wait super patient. I'm waiting for that, to really show me Like that is the draw. So we're looking to see no SMT as soon as that low gets taken, but we are just playing around. NQ playing inside this gap, respecting. Huge range that we just displaced from. No clear. But these last legs right here can validate a change along with the 15 seconds. So SMT still holding as of now. Just gonna wait. NQ looking to validate this and validate that this SMT is still in the market. If we want to get higher, this gap will hold, either or. We already made our last run lower. NQ is looking to get up. And then bam. Stop's gonna go right there. $300 on this trade. We're looking to see that, break even pretty quick. So we get up into this 1 minute, possibly. If we do, we'll look to go break even fairly quick. Pull back to a change right there. Stop loss is in a good spot. We got this 1 minute change down here. We're pulling back to. So we're gonna let our stop loss just hold here. And that's pretty much it. Stops damn near towards the SMT. Pretty good trade. So just gonna let this be all I'm gonna add on this trade. Not gonna look to add any more. I got what I want on this trade. We're gonna target just this internal high up here. And then, we have gaps in front of us. So I do want to be reasonable. I want, probably to just target this internal gap right here, this 30-minute. Let's be reasonable with where we're, trying to see this market draw to. So again, I'm just letting my stop loss hold here. Actually be the stop loss that it gotta be. We're gonna have to get through at least, these gaps for one. And then two, we have to also, be reasonable. Like these internal highs at 930 getting taken are clear forms of buy side. So I want to watch what ES and QS to provide for me as well, because that is every right to maybe sell back off. We don't know. All we are is just observing. So that will be the other stab for me. This will be the last stab. I got my risk on that I want. I want to see now if we get through this 5 minute, I'm super confident. It brings a lot more confidence. So getting through this 5, not holding in it, not playing around too crazy, a very clear sign that we'll be bullish, and that manipulation at the open was clear manipulation. So just holding here. We are inside this 1 hour, remember? So if we're gonna hold bullish again, that's exactly what it's gonna, provide for us. But now we have to just be realistic with the targets and what we're trying to take. So we know we got a 1 minute change, pulled back to it. 30-second change, pulled back to it. We got the, nice displacement that we were looking for. Excuse me. So now when it comes to the trade, right, you have to be real. It's not going to just go straight towards TP. And also, the trade has to develop. So, you know, time frames, the macro, we have every reason, just to play around. So my stop is going to stay my stop for now until we take out 930 high. So if we want to go around this buy side level right here, we have every right to. And once we take it, zoom out a little bit, You zoom out and you see this little low or this little high right here get taken. Now I'm confident to target up inside of this fair value gap and, go break even being down 178. So, like, I'm confidently going down 178. Obviously now we're getting some displacement. So 2 minute should open up, a 3 minute opening up. So now the 3 minutes going to open up, right? In 3 minutes. If I start seeing us push towards this buy side level while this gap opens up, I have every right to now, tighten up the stop loss a little bit, So now it's 176, and we're pushing for that level. So it's all using your reasoning, Pull back to a change. We already pulled back to it. Why are we gonna like continue and try to, hunt that pull back to a change, We're not gonna hunt it all the way from up here. And if we do, that's why I'll just tighten up my risk a little bit. So I'm not losing as much. So like look, just like that, So now this 3 minute is not fully opening up, right? We're holding inside of a gap. We have, like I said, we have every right, every reason to come back. And all I have to do is, keep myself protected. So with that, that's pretty much it. We got up into this 1 minute all the way up here, started to reverse again. And that's pretty much it. Like we didn't put no clear model in, no clear change above. We're just at this 3 minute wick. And a stop out right here that'll result in the end of the day. Like I'm not gonna continue to trade it, keep searching for something. So now NQ, pull back to the change, which now that's the first time we pulled back. So I'll look for displacement legs out of this. And if we don't pull back or if we don't displace out of this, then again I'm not gonna continue to look for nothing out of this. So I'll look for a clear change out of this to validate my bullish bias. Stop losses at a really good spot, protected. No 3 minutes gonna open up here, so or a 5 minute, nothing's gonna open up here. So that is where you have to really be picky with this trade. We have a 15-minute gap right there. And that, in my opinion, is all that's going to hold us. This last 15-minute gap right there, right where this changes. So, I'm kind of I'm in my own, like, my own thinking. What I have to see here is, like, we get through this, We don't hold it, even on the lowest time frame. So, I don't want to see us pull back to a change all the way down here. I feel like there's really just no need. But look, clears up. This wick just fully retraces. But we get so deep through this 5 minute to the point like I feel like we will inverse it. So I think that 5 minute is protected if we inverse it. And then I would like to see this buy side level to then go break even. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna hold the stop loss. Stop loss is not gonna move. We don't have anything in favor, so we're playing. That's why I like to tighten on my risk because we're playing off of real slim decisions here. It's either gonna displace in favor or we're stopped out. It's really that simple. So I'm just gonna let this trade pretty much play out. Not gonna say too much. Really no need. So. We ain't really do much here, you know. Not really manipulating, just looking to see, a little higher. So bam, stopped out there, and that's it. Losing day, down 360. Shorts were super, super clean. This SMT is looking to get invalidated and possibly not hold. So that's it. Can't really fight against what the market's doing. And, at the end of the day, losses are a part of the game. So you take a loss, keep that joint small. Don't keep that joint to the point where, like you can't make it back and you cannot overcome it. Like it's so much easier to come into a new day, trade it, you know. Like I said, I don't have no freaking bearish targets in this point in time. Like the only reason I would go short is based upon us taking this low all over again, which, it's not even formed yet. So maybe on the hourly, it's the only reason I'll go short. And I can't even be confident in taking that, knowing like we got that SMT. So again, this beautiful sell-off, pulled all the way back. So again, yeah, I'm gonna just end it there. Not tripping what happens after this. Shit does not matter. Come back into a new day and we'll be back. So other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the weekend. Once you're done, bro, with this shit, bro, make sure you just get off. Do the right thing. You feel me? Don't try to overdo it or like prove something. I took my 2 losses on that day. Bam, I'm done. Keep that joint small. Keep it reasonable. Come back on Monday next week, and we bounce back. So other than that, catch y'all.